Good afternoon. Yeah, good. Hard fought Big East game. We're in a part of our season where we've just really since the Marquette game a total reset and just focusing on getting better every day. I thought we had some good moments in practice this week. Preparing to play a Georgetown team that's greatly improved from last season. With some great wins this season, especially in league play, and they have a very, very, very talented foursome of Sorber, Mack, PV, and Epps. And I thought our guys, really competed and played together. And when that happens, and you're disciplined, and you take care of the ball, and you rebound, and you take good shots, you usually come out on the right side of the win column.
Questions for the players?
Jayden, how big was the other guy on the podium with you tonight?
Really, he played a very good game. He was really big for us in our win. Hit some big shots when his number was called. Got fouled for a couple threes. He made all his free throws. He was huge. He scored at time for us when we was having trouble scoring the ball. And I feel like he just played it with confidence and played with a freedom that I love to see out of him.
What about Creased? How about the lift that he gave you guys?
Man, it's phenomenal. He had a great week of practice. He was out recently, but he's getting back into it. And this week leading up to this game, he had a great week, and he showed exactly who that player he can be in this league. He was big for us. He played big in stretches during this game, and we just love to have him out there.
Jabri, stepping up to the moment there, really drawing some key fouls in the 6 free throws in the second half, really turned the game in your favor. Just the confidence to go up and make those free throws?
Comes from just working on them a lot. We shoot free throws every day in practice, so I try to take them serious, make all my free throws. Just getting up there, relaxing, and trying to come through for my team.
You've been in a lot of, big-time atmospheres. How was today? Probably.
This is number one. This is crazy. Yeah, this is number one for sure. But really loud, and we appreciate the fans for bringing the energy. It definitely helped us get some stops defensively and helped us play harder. So we appreciate the fans.
Jabri, to go from like 2 minutes in the first half to 10, just how much is that a credit to you staying locked in, staying ready when your number gets called?
I was just trying to stay in the game, focus on what they were doing offensively from a game plan standpoint. So when my opportunity was presented to me, I would just be ready. Not sitting on the bench, kind of daydreaming, just trying to focus on my job, and when I get in the game, trying to execute it.
Jabri, as a shooter yourself, thoughts on the banked 3 by Crease?
He called it.
How big of a shot was that? Just, looking at the scope of the game, I think you guys were kind of struggling offensively a little bit, and all of a sudden, Crease Banks went in, and it looked like it gave you another spurt there at that point.
Crease, like Jayden said, Crease had a great week of practice. He's been ready to play, and the game rewards you. He was open, took the shot with confidence, and banked it, swished, whatever. It went in, 3 points. So it was huge.
Jabri, as a shooter, how much have you been focusing on doing the other things over the past few weeks? Rebounding, gritty plays, diving through loose balls, things like that.
Yeah, just talking with my teammates and coaches. They really emphasize that with me, try and focus on every other aspect of the game because there's so much more that goes on. They have a lot of confidence in me to make shots. I have confidence in myself, so I try not to worry about the shooting part and just focus on what I can control, focusing on the game plan, rebounding, defense, and then, shots come, take it with confidence.
Jayden, their backcourt had 5 field goals. I think you guys frustrated them, or they played a lot of minutes. You guys obviously had more depth in your bench. I don't think they scored a point on the bench.
That was part of the game plan, disrupt them. I feel like we just did our job. We weren't really focused on who they were or what they were doing, but more so about us, the team we want to become, locking guys down defensively. I feel like with me and all the guys in our backcourt, we did a good job with that matchup.
Jayden, I think you scored a layup, after Corey kept 2 plays alive there in the first half. Just how big was he overall today?
Man, he was phenomenal. Corey had a great game. He did things all over the court, from rebounding to passing the ball to scoring the ball. He had a really good day.
Jayden, does it help at all maybe somewhat knowing the scheme on the other side, playing for the coach before? You hear some, is there any advantage to it?
Definitely a little bit, especially for myself. Sometimes I may recognize a call or even the name has changed, but I may recognize it and I'll be able to jump it a little bit. And then just the rest of my teammates telling them what's going to come for the coaching staff that may not have known the play, being able to recognize it and telling them what it is for the rest of the game going down the line. So I think it's definitely an advantage.
Jayden, you guys are down 12, obviously a lot of time left, but what helped you guys get going there in the first half?
Taking better shots. I feel like we came out taking some tough ones, some questionable ones. Then once we settled in and played disciplined basketball and took the open shots and made consecutive back-to-back drives, I feel like the game opened for us.
How did Justin help in that first half?
Justin, whenever he comes in, he brings another level of energy and effort. He always pushes us, and he takes our team to the next level when he gets in the game. And I feel like that's who he is day in and day out, and he showed that today.
Was that the best block of the year so far on that help?
Definitely up there. It was up there. I feel like Osmond had a couple good ones this season, but Justin's block today was definitely up there.
Any more questions for the Friars? Questions for Coach?
Kim, the bench was 26-0. You talked an awful lot about your depth, and that certainly came to pass today.
Yeah, I thought, they only had, 3 guys come off the bench, and I thought their impact was good. Caleb Williams going to the glass. Curtis Williams is shooting it at a 50, 40, 90 clip right now. He's a very dangerous player. But our guys played well. Justin creased. Wesley's still working his way back from his injury from Nova. Jabri was good. Just stacking days. And we had guys didn't play. Eli, Rich, Bonk didn't play. It's just about keep getting better every day. And when you do that and you do those things that we did in practice on the game floor, you'll usually have success.
You chose to ride with Jabri instead of Ryan for a long stretch, and he rewarded you.
Yeah, well, the space he creates when he's on the floor is good. I'm happy Ryan actually shot 3 threes today. He's been working. He and Bryce have been just working, spending a lot of time post-practice working on their threes. But yeah, Jabri was good. He defended pretty well. We knew late it was going to come down to one-on-one defense and rebounding, and we were switching everything. So sets really shouldn't have bothered us. It was going to come down to guarding the ball and defensive rebounding. Disappointed with some of the fouls late. We have to clean that up. We're still guarding with our arms. Need to guard with your chest.
Kim, you went to crease pretty early. I think Sober hit a 3, and then he hit an elbow jumper.
Yeah, it wasn't about his threes. He was 0 for 9. In league play, he made the 2 threes. We'll live with that. We'll live with non-shooting 5 men making threes. It was his mid-range that was the problem.
How much is that just a confidence lift for Crease to go in that early, to that?
Yeah, you get your confidence from what you do every day. If you don't live to the standard in practice, you won't play in the game. If you don't live to the standard in the game, you're coming out of the game. And Oswin is closing out with a low hand. He came out of the game. If he missed a shot, he was coming out of the game. And we have to learn. Zuby Ejiofor made a very similar shot against us. Shooters should never be shooting shots with our hands down. That's basketball day one. All my campers know that. She looks like a camper. You might know that, yeah.
Well, how big of a shot was that one by Crease? It looked like you guys were stuck in the mud a little bit. All of a sudden, bang.
Yeah, it was a lull. He is a good shooter. He's banked in every 3 he's made this season. He is a good shooter. We don't mind him shooting them when he's open, when they're in rhythm. I couldn't really figure out the reaction from the crowd. It was a groan when he cocked it and hoisted it, and then it was, exhaustion when it went in.
Was it important to give Sober maybe different looks? Like, Crease is more, bigger, and then Oswin's a little more.
Yeah, he played a great game. He really got going. Seeing a ball go through the net from 3 really helps your game. He had 10 points. 10 of his 25 were jump shots. I don't think we guarded him great, but he's a very, very good player. As talented, he's up there. Kalkbrenner, Dixon, he's up there with the best bigs in our league. Terrence Reed, he's very, very, very talented. very talented.
I think you talked about after the Seton Hall game about trying to get more possessions. You took more shots than then. Is that one of your keys that you look at? Maybe take more field goal attempts than the other team?
I think in Big East play, we're going into the day, we're minus 43 in a possession game. Today we got 5 more than them, so we're down at 37. Now we got to get ready for Seton Hall, and we're just trying to tick that number down with already thin margins with, obviously who we don't have when we are down players. Our margins for error is very, very thin. If we're playing games where teams are taking 15, 20 more shots than us, it's very hard to win. Very hard to win. So the possession game was, we were +5 today.
Kim, what did you think of the atmosphere today?
Yeah, it was loud. I mean, our fans, it's a recurring theme. I remember last year coming in here for Nova and thinking it was going to be empty. I knew it wasn't going to be empty, but it was a big game. And when we lost, it was very deflating. And I don't know what to expect. The next game, UConn, is packed for UConn. We lose. We go to New York for the Big East tournament. I'm like, no one's going to come down. It's a home game in the Garden. And then the Big East semis, it's another home game. And our struggles this year, coming into our Butler game, our Seton Hall game, they're here. Our fans are great. They don't stop. And it's true to what Providence and Rhode Island are, gritty, tough. There's a Toyota Sienna that I drive by on River Ave when I go home, and it's like she's always maybe leaving, going to work when I'm going home, but it's like backing out at the same time every day, and it said never give up. And I kind of look at it and I chuckle. Ride past each other every day. So if you have a Toyota Sienna and you live on River Avenue, thank you.
That said, you talked about the fan support, how much they want this game in particular. So deliver that to them. That's gotta.
I think they want every game. Like I said, I don't think our fans would like if we went 2-18, and the only 2 games we beat were Georgetown. So we have to keep getting better. Every game's on our schedule. It was a tough, an important one, going in to play one of the hardest playing teams in the league in Newark this week.
Kim, the Jayden, coming off the 2 tough games you gave you the first half.
Yeah, he didn't help himself starting off with a really, really tough shot, first play of the game. And talking to him, I'm letting him let the game come to him and just take what the defense gives you. He's going to play. Like, I'm not taking Jayden Pierre out of the game, unless he does egregious things that aren't what we want. He's a Friar through and through. He cares about this program more than he cares about himself. He's a great teammate. He's a great student. He's a great son, brother. He's going to have great success in life. Forget basketball. Every single Providence College fan should be very, very happy that Jayden Pierre is on our side. He's the epitome of what a student athlete should be.
And then they didn't shoot a 3 for the first probably 16, 17 minutes of the second half. Was that something you had done defensively to slow them down?
Yeah, I think our switching bothered them some as far as the fluidity of their movement and passing. We got to their shooters. We should be going over screens. We want to disallow 3s from shooters' attempts. It's hard to disallow the makes if they're getting them off clean. We've guarded the 3 pretty well this season, 31%. Today, shot 30, so, yeah.
Coach, was the plan on the rebound to have everybody attack today? You had 5 different guys who got at least 5 rebounds to counter.
Well, defensively, yes. All 5 guys need to rebound. Defensively, box out, go pursue the ball. Offensively, if your motion takes you to the ball, go get it. If not, it takes you transition. You got to do one or the other. You need to be getting back or you need to be going.
Kim, good to see Justin Fernandez continue to get his minutes up in his production.
Yeah, byproduct of a bunch of really good practices. We're getting there. We're not there yet. Justin is a very good example of having an elite mindset. Out of the rotation, he's the same guy every single day in practice, works on his game, and when you do that, you'll have success in games.
After your reset, did the Marquette game, were you focusing on, like I asked Jabri, the gritty things, the loose balls and the extra stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, we've been focusing on it since day one. You can't play basketball without those things, especially in this league. I think having the losses as something to look at, and watching those losses on film, the belief began to permeate to them. You know, if there's a loose ball, you dive on it. If you have a teammate on the ground, you go sprint and pick them up. No one went and picked up Justin Fernandez when he got his shot blocked in the first half against Nova. No one picked up Jayden Pierre when he dribbled out of bounds at the end of the Nova game. And that's why we lost. We really believe it. I believe that's why we lost. So little things, playing off 2 feet, shot fakes, you know, huddling up, you know, playing in a stance, running your hardest. Those things translate to winning.
Coach, after being down 12 midway through the first, what was the message you were giving to the guys?
Yeah, I mean, Sorber made 2 threes. Micah Peavy is an NBA player, by the way. I think he could play on an NBA team right now. He's an NBA wing. Peavy made a left runner falling out of bounds. Sorber made 2 jump shots with our hands down. So, I mean, 8 of the points were on our terms. So it was just a reset and just do what we need to do. And then whenever they had 25, I feel like they had 25 from that point on, I felt like we had pretty good control of the game.
Coach, since the reset after the Marquette game, the offense seems a lot more balanced. The ball seems to be moving a little bit better. Assists are up. Has that been kind of a point of?
Yeah, again, when you emphasize things from day one, but you know sometimes teams have to go through some things, and you know some of the losses, some of the turnovers, some of the bad shooting, it showed. And you know the go-to guy on our team is the open man. He pass and cut, pass and cut. You know, we run the play, but you know we want to be getting stops, and we're playing after we get stops. Thanks, guys.